On today's mind-blowing adventure into virginity, we're going to be taking a look at Max Maven on Taiwanese TV. This video is notorious for a couple reasons, in that Max Maven actually makes a mistake on television, and we're going to be able to watch him recover and how he manages to get out of the situation that would ordinarily stop anyone else's performance. It goes without saying that unfortunately Max Maven is no longer with us, and I'm sure right now he is probably using Equivoke on Jesus Christ himself. I first became aware of Max Maven based on the World's Greatest Magic specials, where I saw him perform interactive mentalism for the audience at home, and I remember butting up against my television screen with my brothers and trying to figure out how he managed for us to think of gray elephants in Denmark. I also appreciate Max Maven because we have the exact same hairline.
曾任大卫考伯菲魔术顾问的 Max Maven 独特的造型让人印象深刻，素有心灵大师之称的他，小心他将看穿你的心。
大家好。
God damn it, Asian women are just perfect, and so is Asian television. Look at how much drama, how much intrigue, how much overproduction and exaggerated facials and camera zooms. I love it. I wish we had a little bit more of this, but alas, here in the States we're Lexapro babies and we definitely get overstimulated.
Very nice to be here. I like coming to Taipei. Yep. And tonight we will try something unusual. And to help me, you will be the first.
Oh.
Can you help me by putting out your hand?
Sure.
This one.
This one.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have something to give you.
还有东西要送给我。
有东西送给你。
Now we are married. It's a joke.
It's also kind of hot that bitch was kind of rude to his face. In this case, he made a little dumb, bumbly joke about marrying her, and her face was immediately disgusted and disfigured as if she's imagining a life getting pounded by Max Maven.
But it's a very special ring. It has very strange power. And you hold this with that hand, okay? Just keep it there. Also, I have a deck of cards. All right. Can you help me? Can you cut the cards?
切牌。
好。
Yes, okay, and complete. And shuffle anything you want to do to mix them. Anyway, she's very good.
哇哦。
她很想洗，漂亮，把它弄乱，对，弄乱。
Very good. Okay. I am very impressed. I'm very impressed. Look, here are all the cards. Yes?
Yeah.
All the different ones.
都不一样。
Do you have a favorite?
你最喜欢一张？
You don't. We'll find a favorite. Okay? Let's do it this way. Put your finger here. Slowly move your finger in that direction, and when you like, you stop.
Okay.
你先走到一个喜欢的点停下来。
Here?
Yeah.
Between these two?
用完碟仙呢？
Okay.
哎。
Now, again, but this time to the other side. Go.
再走一次。
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Again. Here?
Yes.
Okay. Now it's only 6 cards. 6 cards. Now it's your turn. Take your finger and touch one card, pull it away. Any one. Pull it away. Touch another one. Pull it away. Now there are only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any one you like.
不会吧？
Pick it up. Pick up one.
Should I pick it up?
Yeah,
那
anyone.
我要选一个我最喜
所以
欢。
挑一张你喜欢的。
And put it with the others, yes. Now it's only 3. Yeah. Can you pick up one more?
好，这个。
Okay. Now it's only 2. 2 cards. Take one card. Doesn't matter which one. Are you sure you want that? You like it?
我要这个。
You want to trade?
Yeah.
No.
No.
You want that?
Yes, I want this one.
Not that one, not that one, not that one, none of these.
我要这个。
Only that one.
只有这一张。
In English, we say that's the ace of clubs.
Yes.
Club。
How do you say in Chinese?
梅花 A。
Mei Hua A.
梅花 A。Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Ace of clubs. Your choice. With some help.
对，我们帮忙。
Please watch carefully.
不是吧？
不可能！那我哭脸。
It goes without saying that Max Maven is an absolute master in what's known as equivoke or magician's choice. In this case, you could see that the magician's choice is from getting an entire deck of 52 cards down to just one, which is a very difficult technique to do without making it seem like you're doing exactly what you seem to be doing. He has a large body of work dedicated to just this particular craft, and this is very ballsy to do on national television. In this case, he has her mix the deck and shuffle. He was having her cut the deck, which for a second made me think that somehow he was using a stacked deck, but for this particular endeavor, it seems like he's going to go with a variation of the trick that cannot be explained, which is just a fancy way of saying that he's making it up as he goes. Of course, it's not to say that he's just coming in here completely freeballing it. However, he is doing a lot of different techniques in order to get her down to that particular card. One of my favorite introductions to this particular piece is one that you're about to see, which I first saw done by Ricky J, which is that he's going to have her run the finger down the length of the deck and stop at a certain point. Now, at this point, if you happen to get the participant to stop exactly on the card that you want them to, which is the ace of clubs, the trick is over. Everything matches. You have a miracle. However, if they don't, which is the likely choice, then you use that as an elimination. So you are now eliminating cards and going backwards and forwards until you are down to just a couple of cards left. Then notice that the cards are also face up. This is a great technique to use because now you have essentially what is an open index. You know the conclusion. The conclusion is you need to get that ace of clubs in play. The latter portion of this routine involves what I think is a very ballsy variation of Magician's Choice, where he's having her swipe cards. Again, had she picked the ace of clubs, he would have had that be the choice, but now he's using this as means of elimination. So whenever she touches the card and swipes it, that means that she's eliminating it. As an ever-growing budding student of Equivoke or Magician's Choice, I think this last selection or this last elimination was a little bit ballsy, just because specifically she could have picked the ace of clubs. He's already established that whenever he takes a card or she takes a card and swipes it, that's eliminating it. You could have possibly eliminated that ace of clubs. However, he did position the ace of clubs away from her, so it would be the least likely choice. At this point, you're down to just two cards, and this is my favorite situation to be in because it doesn't matter. If she takes that card, well, now the end of the routine is perfect. If she doesn't take the card, well, she's left you with the ace of clubs, even though she's managed to pick every card she wanted. She's eliminated, she's made every single choice, and yet we're down to the ace of clubs. So you could give them the option to change their mind. It just determines how you conclude that particular action. It's a masterful lesson in Equivoke, and as you could see, he nails it perfectly because it just so happens that that's the card that she's had in her hand the entire time. The important part when using Equivoke of this style is that you want to make it seem like the process is the process. It's not something that you're making up on the spot. It's not determined by their current actions, that this is the exact same thing that would happen each and every single time.
There is a reason.
为什么？
That ring had a very strange power. Turn your hand over.
连这些都是梅花 A 哎，在一起，在一起，在一起。
Now, this style of prediction has been debated by online magic forums and virgins worldwide of the redundant prediction. In this case, the prediction is the ace of clubs in the card, but he manages to have a kicker ending where she reveals that the ring also happens to reveal the ace of clubs. So it's a redundant prediction in that technically, it's no different than the card she's already held in her hand. But you see the reaction, and you see as if it's a different thing entirely. So I think in certain circumstances, it's okay to introduce a redundant prediction like this. You aren't adding any extra effort on your end, and you're getting an entirely different reaction afterwards. So might as well try it.
Get married.
We can talk about it after the show. No, this is a present for you.
Thank you.
我签对一个礼物啊，我也要当助手，我也要当助手。
I think after the show there will be a lot to talk about.
Max Maven is just so quick-witted and great on his feet. He's just a master at what he does, and with this little back and forth, you see that it's not a scripted line, and yet he manages to nail two quick-witted lines back-to-back. Now, if you want to learn some quick-witted back-to-back lines, you should check out the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, even mentalism if you decide to join that particular tier, all available for the low, low price of a White Claw a month or 2 White Claws a month if you decide to join the Mentalism Academy, and I'm always constantly uploading new videos. So it's not just 1,500 videos. As a matter of fact, that list that I have up here is old. I've added so much more to that. So if you're going off of that, you'd be going off of incorrect information. I just don't stop uploading to the Academy, and oh boy, I can't wait to see you there.
Shall we try something else?
Okay,
Yeah?
sure.
Okay. I think this time,
哦，是是。
would you help me?
Okay.
Okay. Here's a little envelope.
一个
Inside the envelope, there is a business card, nothing else. Business card is a picture of me. Okay. And also, I have a pen. I will ask that you draw a picture onto the card. But please do not show the picture to anyone.
Okay.
Do not show it to them. Do not show it to the camera.
Okay.
Keep it your private secret.
Okay.
Okay?
Secret.
I will turn away so I cannot see.
叫我画一个图，不可以给你们大家看，只有我知道。
And when you are finished, turn the card so that your picture is down and my face is up.
OK，
You're finished?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Clarity is also something to take from this. The clarity of the instructions, especially when it comes to mentalism, you want to be crystal clear to the participant. You don't know how many times this happened, especially to me, where you give what you think is very clear instructions to the participant and they manage to fuck it up. Here, he's almost redundant in his instructions where he says, place it with your drawing face down and me facing upward just to make sure that nobody could see your drawing. He's making sure that she does that because, well, if she happens to turn over the drawing, that's the effect, it's gone. But he's crystal clear with his instructions, which is, again, indicative of a master at work. I also love the sound effects they implement in this show. So the moment he takes out the business card and the little envelope and the pen, they fucking put emphasis on the pen as if it's like this big thing that he just took out. He just reached into his pocket and pulled out the Holy Grail or maybe a vial of Jesus Christ's personal semen.
And I have the envelope. Please put that inside. Not seen yet. Okay, please.
小心小心。
All right. Can you give me about between 5 and 10 centimeters? Doesn't taste so nice. Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
封起来。
And so
封起来。
嗯
now it's inside. No one can see your picture.
，yes，没看得到。好，
We'll play a game. The game uses 3 little purses.
好可爱。
零钱包。
Here's the envelope. I'm going to turn away. And when I do, I would like you to take the envelope and put it inside of any one of the 3 purses.
Okay.
Now, I could be wrong. I might just turn my dick inside out later on in the video, but from my understanding, Max Maven is using a windowed envelope. And notice that on TV, it's very easy not to know if there's a camera behind you, if there's a camera above you, and yet he manages to control those angles perfectly while still getting his peak. Now, this isn't to say that you're going to be performing in a situation like this, but with cameras all around and people recording stuff, you want to make sure that the people around you and people near you, they don't get the angle that, well, you don't want them to get. In this case, you don't want them seeing you peeking at the inside of a card inside of what should be a sealed envelope. So another lesson in and of itself.
Okay? Please, when you're done, close the purse and tell me.
OK，
随便放在任何一个其中的小钱包里。
对，不要给他看到。
So she is
可是
choosing
它
any
外观
purse.
外观上看不出来吗？
都长一模一样啊。
She puts the envelope inside. She closes the purse. Okay.
Okay.
Would you please mix the purses?
弄乱。
喂，
Mix the purses so that even you do not know which one has the
连
envelope.
自己都不知道在哪里。
对
OK，
，OK，
Okay?
OK。
Do you know which purse has the envelope?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I want to try to figure out which purse has the envelope. Of course.
我找到信封了。
So how can we find out? I know one way. I could ask the director to take the video of this and run it backwards.
哦，好
And
多
then
个
you
倒带
can
的。
倒带
how in the
倒带
beginning
也找
where she put it and then how you mixed it.
Yes，
No
Maybe the director won't help me.
No impossible.
help.
Yeah.
Impossible.
So I have to try a different way. Because there is another recording of that mixing
他说还有另外一段录影。
in your brain.
哦，你完了。
No, because in your mind, you can remember every detail.
完蛋。
So even though you cannot say how you mix them, part of your mind
他找你
knows
的
and
记忆，他
remembers
要
how
看
you
透
mix
你的
them.
脑哎。
OK，show me。
I will try.
Here comes that clarity again when it comes to the effect that he wants to convey to the participants. He's very clear as to what it is that he wants to sort of approximate. In this case, he gives the comparison of having the director slow down the camera and see how the person actually mixed and shuffled the purses. And he compares that to the image that's in their mind and how they mix it up, and yet still that image exists inside of their head. And now it's going to be his job to try to get that back from their head so that he could find the corresponding purse. It's a very nice metaphor, and it's another reminder that the effect is what is king. I mentioned this on the Academy many times. However, the effect is key. The process is not the trick. A lot of people confuse the process that you guide the participants through and think that is the effect. That is what matters. No, the effect is what the effect is. In this case, it's very easy to have the mix of the purses, grab the right one, and reveal the thing immediately without having any sort of effect. However, the effect in this particular case that he's conveying to the audience is that he is going to try to reach into her mind, have her rewind the metaphorical footage that exists, and see if he could find the correct purse.
你们俩结婚吧？对，看。
大眼瞪小眼。
Okay, you get it here, she put it there, but then you mix these onto the ends and then back. At this moment, this purse is empty. I know this purse is empty.
空的。
Can you open that purse, please? Is it
整整你
empty?
脑子有在跑的感觉吗？
No, it's not
Because
empty.
inside is one piece of evidence. But do you know why it feels empty? Because nobody knows what's inside. Only you do, right? So for everyone else, and for me also,
里面是
it's
空的。
nothing, it's a mystery.
OK，
Give me your hand. Put the other hand on top.
Now, I do have to admit that looking back on it is a little bit cringy to look. As a matter of fact, my face right now is puckered. I feel like I've just bit into a lemon just because he was so clear as to what he meant, and then he kind of flubs it here. But you notice that the consummate professional Max Maven keeps it going. Any other person would have looked at that particular circumstance and said, oh, well, I mean, well, that's the first time that's happened again. Oh, yuck, oh, yuck, oh, yuck. However, in this case, you notice that Max immediately goes off into what could be a pseudo explanation. Now, it is one that he just pulled directly out of the inside of his anus, but it is something that could logically make sense because he was so adamant about having the first participant make the drawing and not share with anybody else. And technically, well, you would feel empty about that because you don't know exactly what it is. And of course, he has the parachute of recovery that he peeked at the drawing. So he's going to be able to reveal it. So even if this particular part failed, he's still going to be able to reveal the drawing that is inside of that envelope that apparently nobody has ever seen.
Think about your picture.
你在想什么？
他叫他想他刚才画的。
哦，我好害怕。
会吧？
怎么可能啊？
他如果画得出来的话，就没有破不了的案。
真的耶。
Think about your picture.
Yes.
不可能啊！
Right.
好有表情，好有戏。
啊，这
Wait. Look. Still see. You cannot see inside.
嗯，
Let's open the envelope.
对的啊。
There it is. Okay. On this side. Ah. Okay. Can you see it?
一朵小花，画一朵小花的。
Yeah. You drew a flower.
Yes.
And it has 2 little leaves.
Yes.
有点偏小叶子。
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Oh.
造成故意。
You're going to hear often about a rule in mentalism called the 80-20 rule. That means that for 80% of your act, you're allowed 20% to be incorrect or to take chances. In this case, that is your wiggle room where you could play around with different ways to reveal information that may or may not be 100% accurate. And it's all covered within the confines of mentalism, which is mind reading, and it is an imperfect art. That 20% is where the most excitement takes place in the world of mentalism, because you could nail an absolute miracle and without much effort. Now, of course, that 20% is dissipated by the 80% of the mechanical work that you have that is going to be totally accurate. So do keep that in mind when structuring a routine or some sort of mentalism act. That 20% is what's essentially going to be the most memorable portion of your entire act. Now, I enjoyed looking at this because you get to see what a professional does, in this case, under fire. You get to see what a professional does with the circumstances not being in his favor, camera angles that might not necessarily favor his work, and even a flub, a mistake that I think could have been avoided. Now, I'm not necessarily sure about that method. Maybe somebody could help me out in the comment section below, but it does seem like a risky method. It reminds me of an effect by Rick Maui called Terasabos, which I believe stands for this effect requires acting skills and balls of steel, because the method is non-existent. It's just you essentially figuring out which one of 5 cups has a certain special object with no method. You're just going in there, freeballing it and hoping for the best. I have to imagine that with the coin purses and maybe the participant mixing them in a way that he didn't necessarily account for, that potentially could have messed it up. Again, I'm just mentally masturbating here. You should be physically masturbating, as well as hitting the like button and subscribing, you slut.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.